So I think in my belief, I believe that we are trying to.
Hi, welcome to Brand Talk with Mr. Nis. Today I have a very good friend of mine. His name is Isuchukwu, but I don't even know how to introduce him. He's going to introduce himself. So, Mr. Isuchukwu, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you for having me around.
So please introduce yourself, sir. I don't know what to say.
All right. Thank you for having me here. I think this is my first time here, and amazing work you're doing. Right?
Thank you
Amazing.
so much.
And honored to be here. So my name is Izu Udechukwu, and I am a strategist, consultant, and also a forex trader.
Wow, beautiful. I was thinking you just hosted an event for them as a project manager.
No, not really. So I started my forex journey like a year plus now, and it has been an interesting journey. But then aside that, the other thing I do is that I help train leaders from teenage age. Like I am conscious about that age group because I've seen that making money is easy, but having leaders that are authentic, responsible, and excellent leader is a problem in the world. Not even in just in these corners of Africa or Nigeria, but in the world. So leader is a problem that I'm working towards to solve for.
But why the teenagers? Like, are they not supposed to focus on their education, go to university, masters, and all the rest?
Yes, right. But then leaders are not born, leaders are made. So at a very tender age, having to start shaping the mindset of teenagers help produce great leaders. There's a favorite book I love the most, and I call it my holy book. And it said, train up a child in the way he should go. It never said train up an adult. It's easier to mold a child when he's still in the formative age than trying to mold an adult. Because as an adult, all your ideologies, your bias, and your prejudices are already formed. It's difficult to start shaping the mindset of an adult than for a child and a teenager. So I am focused on teenagers because you can mold their ideology quickly.
Okay, I was going through one of your content. I realized there's something you call culture shapers. So
Yes.
what's the ideology behind that and what inspired that?
All right, so I'm going to give you a background story to that so that it provides context. So like 2020 was the first time in my life, my coach at that time asked me to do a 10 years growth plan for myself. And let me just say this in front of the camera, please, guys. I'm not the kind of person that plan 2 months. I've not even had a 2 months plan prior to that time.
Okay.
But my mentor and coach asked me to go and do a 10 years plan, that I should plan the next 10 years, the next decade, because he said life is measured in a decade. Measure your life. He said life is measured in a generation. The generation is 30 years, but then plan it in decades. So that was the first time I was going to plan a 10 years vision for myself. And I can bet you it was a struggle. So you can just imagine. But then after that process of coming up with my 10 years vision, there was something that stood out as cut across what I know that I will be doing for the rest of my life, which was what gave birth to Culture Shapers. And so the ideology behind Culture Shapers is the fact that I want to create an environment where people will raise excellent, authentic, and responsible teenagers for leadership role, and so that they will be financially free at a very early age.
Okay.
There is the part of financial freedom that ties to leadership, right? I don't want people that have leadership capacity or leadership role, but they're financially handicapped. The imbalance will cause them to be corrupt leaders.
Okay.
The problem why we have bad leaders is that on their own, outside the position, they are not financially stable.
Yeah.
They don't have the financial strength and capacity. So raising financial strong individuals plus the fact that they have leadership capacity.
Okay.
So the measure of those two is what gave birth to Culture Shapers. And currently now, we are in the formative age, so we're trying to put structures in place where readers are readers, leaders are readers. So we read. We have books we read on a monthly basis to start changing the ideology. Readers are financial investors. You need to know about the financial literacy. Leaders are great followers.
Thinkers too, right?
Are great followers, are great thinkers, are great critical reasoner. So you have to reason and begin to dissect things that are happening around. So these are the things that we put up together. So the community is It's just an ideology that I have for the next 10 years. I want to raise leaders that are financially free, that are authentic, responsible, and excellent. These are the three major words: authentic, responsible, and excellent in their leadership position.
Can you expand that? Authentic and responsible.
Now, so authenticity. So I have a lot of people have what they call authentic. So for me, authentic is being true to yourself at all time.
Okay.
That is being authentic. Like when whatever you say in front of people or behind people, you can repeat it without prejudice or without changing your words. That's being authentic. Now, excellence, you are excellent when how you do little things is how you do everything.
Everything, yeah.
And then you are responsible when you take ownership. Responsibility for me is ownership. That when you see things happening, you take ownership and you get it done. Regardless of if you are the cause of it or you were not responsible for it. You take ownership and you get it done. So for me, these are the three critical pillars for culture shapers. Responsible, you're authentic, and you are excellent.
Beautiful.
And that pillar with financial freedom, financial dependence is what makes up culture shapers.
So do you have age at which this person can achieve this goal? Let's say a teenager of 12 years join your team. At what point do you think somebody can make it or pick up?
So I think I'll first put a caveat here. Learning never ends, right?
Okay.
You are always going to need information and keep learning because the times are evolving and we are living in a world where information are becoming very changing with the speed of light.
Okay.
So learning never ends. But then the structure in place is that will set you up with the fundamentals of how you be a responsible, authentic, excellent leader and the skill to be financially dependent. While you have that will take a period. We're looking at the period of, say, depending on your learning ability, your IQ and your EQ, we're looking at a time frame of a year for you to be financially, to be stable, that you can legislate and lead a people. Okay.
So how long have you been doing this culture shaping, and do you have people that you've produced so far?
Okay, so for culture shapers started, I just incubated that, started early this year. Early this year. So we are in the first cohort and it's very for limited people. And limited people currently now is because for every pilot, you have to work with an audience that you want to be able to control and see what the results you get. And currently now I'm looking at the people we have in the community, over 70% of them are undergraduates, right? Undergraduates. And we have few secondary school students there, and majorly undergraduates. And we're looking at for this period of 1 year, between now and the end of the year, we want to track our result and see what the progress looks like. But we have a curriculum that's very rich and dense to cover within this period of time.
Wow. Are they paying for this or?
Currently now, they are not paying for it. So dedicating my time because the problem with our economy is leaders. And somehow, if we want to invest in a teenager does not have money to pay you. Yeah. So we have to start shaping the future that we want our children to live in. So this is my own contribution to creating a future that I want my children to be proud of. Okay.
So what's the 10 years going to look like for culture shapers?
10 years looking like for culture shapers. So currently now, 3 or 4 years has really gone from the 10 years for culture shapers. So pretty much.
You say you started this January, right?
I started January, yeah. Okay. So like 3 years because I made that plan 2020.
Okay.
So 3 years has already gone from it. So I have like a seven years. So I had my personal retreats, and let me just give another background to it. I had my personal retreats a couple of weeks back, and to look at what this year looks like for culture shapers and personally. And then it happened that I had to draw a plan people drew plan for 1 year. Somehow I went back and drew a plan for 4 years from the 10 years, extracting from that 10 years, what is the focus for the next 4 years? And I think I will tell you what the goal for the next 4 years for culture shaper is. Okay. And then I will expand it and probably blow it up for what the next 7 years to make it 10 years looks like. For the next 4 years, culture shaper should be a brand that people are associated with raising authentic leaders. Okay. And we are looking for, the target is undergraduates basically at this phase of the first 4 years. Why undergraduates is because these people are in their learning phase.
And they're open for learning.
And this is really critical because one of my great mentor that I look very of blessed memory, Miles Moron, said, life are in phases. Life are in phases. There are the 4 phases of life. There is the morning phase, there's the afternoon phase, the evening and the night phase. That the morning phase is the phase where you learn and you are developing yourself. It is really about you.
Any age bracket for that?
So typically, I think research show that between 0 to 25, it is really more about you, but it doesn't, there's no cap to it. You can exceed that learning stage very fast. And then you come into the stage where you are building your family. You are more focused on family, raising your family, raising your kids. It doesn't mean you are not learning, but priority has shifted.
Okay.
The priority has shifted and you are more focused on raising family and shaping ideologies. It might not just be your immediate family as your immediate family. It might just be shaping mindsets, right?
Okay.
But then it not move from that to a phase where you are now you have institutions that represent your ideology. Then you are shaping a culture, or you are shaping a nation, or you are shaping a people that have not even met you, right? You now have a legacy out there that outside when you are no more, the legacy can speak. And you have people like Miles Moron, he's no more, his books transform life.
Still quoting him now.
Yes, we're still talking about him.
Wow.
You have people like Steve Jobs, he's not alive, but you can't talk about an Apple without him. There are those people that have set up institutions that are legacies, right? So for me, the next 4 years is building that community where people begin to change, people that pass through that program. But then the next 7-10 years is the fact that it become an institution that without me, because it can exist and it can impact life, because at the end of the day, leadership is raising leaders that can displace you. That is what true leadership. You are not truly successful until you have a successor that can succeed you. So
I love that.
That is the ideology for culture shapers.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Whoa. Now, this is deep already. I want to take you personal now. Just you. Are there things you do or ideologies you have that people don't understand you clearly? Maybe your belief system, people drag you online and say, like me, they dragged me recently. They say something about football. If you're broke, don't do this, don't do that. And people are dragging me online. So let me know, are there things you do or say that people don't really understand?
Very personal. So I would do one personal, very personal.
Okay.
And I would do one that probably, and I don't know if a lot of people would drag me for it, but I would just put it out there. Let me start with the verse. Let me come with a soft landing. The one that most people might know. So I've grown up, or a lot of us have grown up in homes where they tell you that when you ask your parents for resources, fund, money, for something like, you're always asking, money does not grow on tree. I believe money grows on tree.
Oh God. Which tree?
I believe, I believe money grows on tree. I believe you plant money and you can harvest money. And there are trees that people harvest money. And this was, and let me just put a funny thing there. I said this to my dad or to my parents, something. I told them that, do you know that if Dangote work the way you work, if Dangote, the richest man does not work the way you work, because you work more than Dangote, yes, you are not as rich as him. It's caused a bit of, my African parents want to give you knock that, what are you saying? But then it's because Dangote is planting money.
At what point were you telling your parents that?
I was telling my parents this, say, when I was in my, say, early 20s. So between 18 to 21, I think so. I was telling my parents.
You're challenging the norms.
I was already. So I think in my house, I am seen as the black sheep that will not conform with the ideology that they have. Right. I have always been that. So if you ask my parents, say 10 years ago, they'll tell you I'm the laziest child in the house, because they believe in hard work, doing hard labor. I don't believe in it. I believe there's an easy way to get that thing done and get better results. So I've always questioned the norm. So one of my ideologies is that I believe money grows on trees. I believe you can plant money. You might not know her. You might disagree with me. It's because you don't know her, or because you're not raised that way.
So explain this ideology, please.
Okay. So I'm going to say that I'm going to ask a question, and whoever is watching, you can answer to yourself.
I'm watching now.
And then, do you think that a Dangote daughter think making money is hard?
No.
But if you ask you, do you think making money is hard? You, the way you are, probably 5 minutes ago, if I said this, what do you think? You think to make 10 million naira?
The process is always rigorous.
Yes.
You have to.
So you think the process is rigorous, right? But to a Dangote daughter, the process is not rigorous. And you might think that it's because of his father. No, it's because of the ideology they have inculcated into her.
Okay.
And then let me tell you how how you plant money.
Okay, yeah.
How you plant money. There are 3 ways you plant money that I can think of on the spot here. The first thing is social capital. Have social capital.
Okay.
For me, the second most important thing you should have in life is a social capital. So have a relationship with your maker. That's the first thing. Spiritual capital. After that, have social capital. It's more important than even your skill capital. It's even more important than your skills that you have. Have social capital. Who knows you? Who can come to your aid? Can you call somebody at 12 midnight that you need 100K because it's urgent, or 1 million naira and it's urgent, that the person will come through for you? If you don't have that, and I will give you a litmus test. Just take this, do it to yourself every day. It should be it's one guiding principle that I use for myself to know my social capital. Is there's research that shows that you are 4 people away from anybody you want to reach in the world.
Yeah, sure.
So ask yourself, are you 4 people? If you want to reach Barack Obama, ask yourself, who can you call that can call somebody, that can call somebody, that can, like, you might not know who they will call. But
you're spinning my head now. I'm thinking of somebody.
Yes.
Else.
Ask yourself that question. Who do you know that is very influential, that is very popular, that you can call?
So how do I need to know? Do I need to know this person one-on-one base, or have his contact, or just his email?
No, at least you should have his contact. That means the person know you. Because how do I know if you just don't have my email? Anybody can have my email. The person recognize if you call the person, the person pick your call.
Okay.
The person pick your call. The person identify.
I don't need to introduce all over again.
You don't need to tell your generation history. You don't need to tell your father, brother, girlfriend, daughter, wife, fowl's name. Just call. My name is this. Oh, how are you? Catch up.
Okay.
So do you have somebody in your life today that if you call, you may not know who the person will call, but you know this person have another connect because of the kind of influence and the kind of position he is. He has another person he can call. Another person can call somebody, and he can call somebody that can connect you to people that the person you need to reach. If you don't have that person, your social capital is poor.
Okay.
Take it. That means you have not planted money. So money is not growing on tree for you. For you, that thing is still a myth. Right? Because I will give you typical examples. There are billionaires that have gone bankruptcy in less than 3-4 months. They are back up because they have billionaire friends. They have billionaire friends that can have a contract they can give to them to just get their feet back up.
Okay.
Right? Relationship. The next thing is you have to be financially literate. You don't need to be very educated. You need to be financially literate. Financial literacy at this point is some people work and make money. They don't know financial literacy. Because you are making money does not mean you are financially literate. It's the deception ever that I am making money. My business is giving me 2 million turnover every month or every year. Does not mean you have financial literacy. You need to get financial literacy. And financial literacy for me, one of my mentors taught me something. Please, if you know you watch football, I know Niz does not watch football because it's like if you are poor, don't watch football. But there is a I'm going to use football to explain something. And he said,
are you attacking me?
No, I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to portray a point.
Okay.
He said there is in the football, if you watch football, there's 3 parts of a football team. There is the defense, there is the midfielder, and there's the attackers.
Okay.
There are 3 levels. So for your finance should be in 3 levels. You should have the defense, you should have the midfield, you should have the attack.
Okay.
Now let me explain what the defense means. The defense is you should have your emergency funds. Okay. You should have money saved out for emergency.
Any figure?
It depends on, there's no figure, depend on who you are, what the kind of capacity you have. Because if you're a married person, the figure changes for you because you have family. If you're a single person like me, the figure changes and depend on your standard of living. If you have a high standard of living, also it impacts and you want it, but you need to have a safety net and emergency funds.
Which is the defense. Okay.
Which is your defense because anything can go wrong.
Okay.
An emergency can happen that you need to cough out money. So that's your defense. You then need to have your midfield. Your midfield is what is your constant cash flow? What brings money to you constantly on a periodic basis? It can be daily, it can be weekly, it can be monthly. That this period, I have this coming in, comes on. Whatever happened, this cash flow is predictable. And I think this is where I am going to say that this is what I just called out, what I spoke out is a generic rule. It's a general rule. It doesn't mean you can customize to your need. And let me give, for the question you ask, and I'm going to give a typical scenario, right? Say you are you graduated from school, you want to start a business, right? And probably you had your NYC money is what you saved up. Probably your Alawi, you saved it up for 1 year and you have, let's say 300K. You want to start your business, right? And you put in the whole money into your business. I'll tell you that you will make returns from your business, right? And then for every profit margin that comes, always split in that order. And this is the sharing formula I have always adopted. Is I keep 20% for business. This is business. If you're a business owner, do at least 20% of your profits, not your capital. Of your profits
after delivery or before delivery.
After
if you're rendering service.
Or after rendering service. No, after delivery. After you're paid. Your revenue, your profit margin. It's not the one you are going to incur in what you get as profit. I will suggest that have 10% save into your defense. I have 10% save in your offense. Because anything can happen to any business. No business is guaranteed. No business is guaranteed. Right? So you can split your profit margin while you have 80% to put back into the business. You can have 80% to put back into your business, but then there is a habit of saving. There's a habit of savings that we think is archaic, but it is not. And I read this somewhere. It said the difference between us and every other animal is that other animal cannot save. If a lion kills an antelope, if it does not finish the food, if it not finish food, you cannot preserve it. You cannot save. You cannot preserve it. So the difference between you and a gorilla and a chimpanzee in the forest or a lion in the forest is that if you cannot save from what you have, no matter, don't tell me the money you are making is small. You should learn how to save.
Most people believe in investing more than saving.
Yeah, so this is the bucket, right? This is what I'm saying, that the saving is not because you want to save. The saving is for emergency. Because if you invest, now investment can be part of savings. Right? Investment can be part of savings. But then if you are investing and you are using it for savings, if it's an investment that is for savings, still playing a dual role of service, don't invest in assets that when you need liquidation, you can't get them. Because they are assets. Just imagine you invested in real estate and you own a property and you now need money, and probably all your tenant has paid you money for 1 year and you need urgent money. You can't chase them. You can't tell them to pay forward because I just paid you 2 months ago. You got them to pay another month.
Unless you go and borrow.
Yes, unless you go and borrow. Then you just start incurring interest on the money you could have. So if you are so I subscribe to the idea. So personally, my investment is my savings. But then the investment that is meant for my savings is an investment that I can get liquidation in maximum 48 hours. My liquidation, I should be able to liquidate my asset in 48 hours maximum. So I invest in stock and it's my savings. I have some stock I invest in and savings. If I need the cash urgently, I sell the stock. I know that in 48 hours, the stock is back. I have cash. So if you don't want to have savings, put money in the bank because of inflation and exchange rate catching up with it and making your money devaluing the money, then invest the money. But have it in the back of that investment you are doing for your emergency fund is an investment as an asset that you can liquidate at when needed quickly. So you can translate that money and use it for what it's needed for. Because you can have a dying loved one or somebody in the hospital and you need urgent money and you don't want to go and borrow or you don't want to incur that cost. You need to translate your investment to liquid and to cash and then make payment.
Okay, so I mean, we've said a lot of things all in this one question, but there's something you said. First thing that people don't understand about you is the ideology of money don't grow on trees, or money grows on trees, as you believe. So what's the next one that
the next one is personal, right? Very personal. And I don't know if everybody agree to it. I'm going to say it's going to be in two parts. The first part is I believe that I am not a Nigerian, even though my parents are Nigerian. I believe I'm not a Nigerian. And you don't come for me. I believe I'm a global citizen.
You're not limited.
I am not limited. I'm a global citizen. That is the one thing I have always worked with. I'm a global citizen. So I hear people say, oh, I could not get visa. I've been denied visa, but I know that I will get it and I will have access to any nation of the world. Because I'm a global citizen. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof.
Thereof. Come on.
So that's one thing. But the other part of it is that I think a lot of people will not agree with me that I will not raise kids that you will spank. I will not beat my kids.
This is one that is drawing attention now online. One of my friends.
I will not beat my kids.
Why?
I believe, and this is my belief. I believe that we are trying to profile a solution to the wrong problem. And I'm going to give you a typical example. Just imagine you have a child, you have a kid, and the reason that why do we beat kids?
To correct them, like Bible said.
To correct them, right? That means the child, to correct them as Bible said.
Using a
I
rod.
know people's quotes, spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah.
Popular scripture, right? Now the question is, when you try to correct a child, when you try to beat a child, what are you trying to correct? A behavioral pattern.
Okay.
He did a behavior or an attitude that is not conforming to what you call moral standard. Does not align with what you believe. That is why you want to correct the child. So it's like you are having headache and you're having a bonnet on your leg, because beating the physical body is not changing the mindset. So the child has a mindset problem because he believes A is B, and you're telling him no, A is not B, A is A. So you are inflicting physical pain on a mental thing.
You mean I can't drive in correction with that?
So let me tell you. Just imagine you are having headache and you're swallowing stomach pills to cure your headache. That's what we're trying to do. You're having headache, serious headache. Your head is achy. You are taking stomach pill, or you're taking abortion pill to cure your headache.
This is
not still balance, right? Okay, let me give you another analogy. So you have a child, and the child did something that is wrong, that you thought is wrong, and then you tell the child, go into your room, and you give him a mental task to do as a point. Sorry, I'm going to take that statement back, and I'm going to give you a perfect example from one of my most holy book, one of the most book I love the most. And it was
is it the Bible?
Genesis 1 verse is the holy book.
Okay.
The Bible, right? And it happened that we all know the story. Adam, the first man, the first woman, they did something and God was not happy with them. And we all know the story. And then God came. Did you see that God used whip and whip them?
Man, no.
Did you see God using whip? What did God do?
He even created something, killed an animal.
He first gave them the punishment that is due. I'm not saying that they do not deserve.
What punishment?
Hold on. I not say punishment should be averted. I don't know what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that spanking using physical rod and inflicting pain on the body is needed. I'm saying that you can correct the mindset. And you can correct the mindset.
How did God handle this situation?
How did God handle this? Now, what did God do? God told, when God cursed the man, the woman, and the serpents, there's something that was common across them. I was reading that scripture this morning, before I left my house this morning. And I was like, why did God punish the serpent that you will crawl and you will eat the dust? It caused the woman and told the woman that in hard labor will you give birth. It got to the man, tilling the ground, you will suffer before you till the ground, and the ground will bring a decrease. What is common across them? If you look carefully, is the speed of progress, the speed of achieving things. The speed of achieving things, the speed of getting results. So for the man, what you would have done easily, it's not difficult for you to get done.
Okay.
For the woman, what bet you would have given birth easily, you take you time to get it done. For the serpent, probably you would have moved faster and easy. It will take you time. And are you getting that progression? So when you want to punish a child, create a punishment that has that the speed of progress, the speed of their outcome is not delayed. So
give me an example to that.
I subscribe to having a child that you do something wrong. Oh, the privileges you enjoy, like your monthly stipend, you don't get it anymore.
Okay.
Oh, you did something wrong. Oh, you're going to spend the main 2 hours reading a book about something that probably will help reset your mind. Read a book, make a summary, or do a presentation. Use the punishment to be a thing to upskill that child. That the child will not necessarily do.
Okay.
That is why I love the idea that the US bring in terms of punishment. They what we call detention in high school. They're like, when you do something like you're going for detention. That means after school, you're meant to going home and having fun. No, you're not going. You stay back in school. You read a book. You write an essay. You take homework. You do extra work.
But here in Africa, we feel that those guys are overdoing it. The children are not turning out fine with all those strategies. So and this is people call this the flogging we do here in Africa, the beating and everything. It's our own thing. That's why our own children is coming out. I don't know how they're coming out, but I know that.
All right. So there is something that I think there's something that we have to know, that we should not extend the truth beyond the boundaries of its limitation. Sometimes we overstretch truth beyond its boundary, right? And because you're getting results in this path does not negate that fact that you're not getting results. Both end at the extreme. So people are doing the extreme. That is why we are looking at the extreme of each case. So to them, they look at our extreme like, why do you inflate pain? Some children are cowards today because our parents beat courage from them. And
I love that.
Some children cannot speak out because whenever they want to speak, they shut you down.
Wow.
You have taken their courage and their confidence out of them because you are trying to shut them down anytime they have an opinion. You can't talk when an elder is talking. That is there's an extreme to what we have done in this part of the world. Yeah. That we're having cowards, or we're having timid people, or we're having people that they are reserved. They're not really reserved. It's because of the way they were brought up. Right? So we have that extreme in Africa. We're not seeing that part. We're always pointing at the part of the white people.
Lesbians and all those
we're looking at the parts that their children are raising up well. But the truth is, let's look at that data set. Let's look at that economy. They have one of the best developers. They have
I'm telling you.
They have some of the world leaders. They have some of the best economy. They have some of the best producers.
Wow.
The products we are using today, it is from them.
I'm telling you.
So somehow we are looking at just a skewed part of their data and then making a final decision on them. The same way we have people that they did not beat in this part of the world. I know of one of my...
Did they beat you?
Oh my God. I think I've collected beating for my generation unborn. Yeah, I think I've gotten beaten from my generation unborn.
Wow.
So, but somehow, I think the problem here is that most people, because they beat them, they feel that is the norm. So they want to, he's got a beating that I'm like, but the truth is, if you ask yourself, it was not the beating that really changed you. I have said this thing a countless times. You might not agree with me, but I will tell you, it is not the business that changed you.
Okay.
And it is the fact that you came to yourself and a realization of yourself that I don't need to be doing this. Because we have some adults that are 40, they are still stupid.
Yeah. Even with all the beatings.
Yes, even with all the beatings, they still acting like a 17 years old child that still needs to be beaten more. Right? So it's not really the beating, it's the realization that I have come to this level of maturedness. I need to be acting differently. Right?
You know, I thought of this recently. I was analyzing this guy, the prodigal son. He made the first request, and the father granted him the stuff. He left. Someone was saying that guy is so smart. He took the first adventure, misused the money, first experience, and then he realized something, and he went back. You know, he came to a point in his life where he said, people over there, they are doing more. They can do more. I can go back. So I think it's a good one. Please, let me take you to the next question, sir.
All right.
This is a new podcast altogether, this question now, if I keep pushing on that. Okay, so the next I want to ask you is, now that we've handled your misfits for most persons, have you ever had a cool job in your life? Like work in industry or a particular position in an office that is so cool, like something you just enjoy as a brand?
Yeah, I would say yes. And yes is, I'm trying to drag the yes because I am saying something cooler to do. That is why I'm saying yes. In the past, it was not as cool. What I'm envisioning, what I'm positioning for will be cooler than what I have in the past. What I've done in the past. So I'm going to talk about what I've done in the past that was really cool for me. So I worked, probably I enjoyed numbers. I enjoyed numbers. My background is mathematics. I studied mathematics in university. I love numbers from primary school, right? I started working. So when I started working as a data analyst, it was interesting because I was seeing a lot of data. But the data that was very interesting to me, for most people that are watching, please don't come for me. I'm no longer working there. Is the aviation data. I was seeing the people flying into the country, how much Nigeria was making from the aviation sector for the aviation agency.
Can you give us a tip?
No, it is. There's confidential.
Are you for real?
Those details are really confidential.
But how often do people fly out?
So I can give a range, right? So domestic flights in a month ranges from I don't know now, when I was still working there. So it ranges of minimum of 400,000 people fly domestic flights. That's within the country, right?
As at what point? Which year?
I think 2019, because COVID happened and it dropped. But it was picking up 2021, because I left 2021. So, or 2020, toward the end of 2021, that's when I left. So,
and outside the country movement?
Outside the country, that's as of 2019. So this jackpot thing, people are jackpotting and the data. So the data was interesting to see, because we also build the airline for operating Nigeria airspace, right? And using our airports or those whole. But then people that travel out of the country on a monthly basis, it is around a 200,000 from the different airlines. I think then we had over 15 functioning airlines, national airlines that was operating in Nigeria. Domestic airlines, I think when I left was 8-9 domestic airlines. So at the time when I was leaving, international airline was about 15, 16. Yeah. So that data was nice because looking at the data, seeing how the economy in the aviation sector was going, how it the impact. There are some things I cannot say on camera. So,
but that's why I want you to say the ones that you can say.
All right.
Okay, so how were you feeling when you were leaving the work? Were you so excited about the next thing, or you're missing out?
Okay, so how was I feeling? I was excited because I had a new challenge. I'm always excited about the new thing I'm doing. I don't leave my old job when I'm not excited about the new thing, right? And so leaving that was not necessarily because of. But for me, I like new challenges. I like new stuff. I like trying new stuff because growth is only possible outside your comfort zone. So trying new stuff, pushing yourself beyond the boundary. So I was comfortable. It was becoming mundane and repetitive for me. So I needed something to push me, and so what I was going to was new. So I jumped at it. That's when I got hand-on experience on consulting. I was consulting so the next company I joined was a consulting company. I started consulting, going to meet clients, asking the whole business idea end to end. Because I was just handling data. Right, so the next job was consulting. So I can come to your business, look at your business end to end, tell me your business problem. I will identify the problem and then provide solution for you. If possible, walk you through on how to create a playbook that can help you achieve your results, and depending on the period of time. So it was an exciting adventure for me. So I jumped at it with my 2 hands and my 2 feet.
Beautiful. What's been the most important mentor in your life, in your career, or maybe someone you read his book that keeps pushing you, like you said, Miles Moran, or is it who else do you have?
Okay, so I have a series of mentors, right? Probably because of their book have shaped my ideology, right? Okay. And the one person that always comes to mind is who you mentioned, Miles Moran, right? But there's this guy that always puts me on my toe, and it's Olakule Soriyo.
Okay.
He has been very instrumental, like putting me on my feet. I have physical mentor that I worked with, my former boss. His name is Chiazo. Trying to recall his other name.
Can you tell me the one person?
Oh,
just try and rate one person. Yeah.
Oh, one person that have shaped my professional life. Yeah. I think I will call him Chiazo, my former boss. Okay. He has really shaped he was the one that asked me to do my 10 years growth plan. Now I'll tell you how far he shaped, and he was very instrumental in my growth, right? Has been the most influential in my professional career.
Okay, so if somebody wants to move into the things you are doing and the leadership development, the branding, the consultation stuff, what's the one skill do you think this person will need?
All right. So I'm trying to unlearn that thing that we always ask, what skill do you need?
Okay.
And I will advise you read the book, Who Not How. It shaped your mind from society has programmed us to go for skill first instead of relationship first. I would say if you want to go do whatever I have done, I would say not what skill you need to learn. Who do you need to know? Who do you need to have in your circle?
Okay.
Because learning is easy when you're in the right circle. And I'm going to give you an example. I can give you an example from scripture. Sorry, I'm a church boy. I'm not political.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
So see Saul. His father's donkey was missing. He went to meet Samuel. Samuel told him that the donkey has been found. Go. The donkey has been found. You are the next king. He was going. He met a company of prophets. He started prophesying. He was not a prophet because he came to the right company. Being around the right people, he will learn the skill.
He started prophesying at
that spot. When he left that band of prophets, he was not longer prophesying. So it's for me, I think this is my new ideology. Never think about how can I get it done. Think about who do I need to get it done.
Wow.
If you think about who do I need to get it done, it opens possibility. The possibility are endless because as an individual, you have limited time, you have limited energy, you have limited resources. But who gives you the ability to tap into people's resources, time, and energy? It gives you enough of that, their time, their resources, and their energy. So what do you need to do all that I've done? If you want to short-circuit your learning process, there's a 4 framework I would tell you to short-circuit your 4 framework.
Okay.
The first thing you need to do is, yes, there's a knowledge base. Go and get knowledge. Okay. While you are trying to get relationship, get knowledge.
Knowledge.
Take courses. Take courses. Read books. Do in that area you want to grow in. The next framework is get a mentor. The work of a mentor. What a mentor does not teach you. What a mentor guides you. He showed you the pitfall ahead and tell you how to avoid them. That's the second thing. The third thing you need to join a community. You need to have a community.
What kind of community? Is it church or
a community
online?
Of people that are trying to achieve the same goal with you, that are in the learning process like you. So it can be physical, it can be online, but belong to a community of people that are learning that skill, that profession, that business with you.
You know, there's a community of people who can help you build your personal brand, develop your voice, and also produce that book you want to produce or shoot those contents. I know you are scared. You want to start this journey. You fail. You shoot video today, and the next 1 month you can't even create any content online. I've been where you are, longing to do more, but because I'm busy, because I have schedules here and there, I can't even create content. I can't even follow through my schedules or my desired goals. Yes, I am one person that will help you achieve that goal. I, as a professional with over 11 years of experience, will mentor you and guide you, holding your hand step by step when you need to go live, when you need to publish your content, when you need to take another step to grow your audience online. I really want to help you achieve this goal because I've been where you are, wondering when can I publish, when can I post, or what can I do? I don't have followers, I don't have visibility. I know everything you are passing through now. We are here to help you to make that move smarter. All you need to do is to click the link below and I will help you walk you through the process. Stop procrastinating on your content creation. Stop procrastinating on things that you know can make you money and help you make impact in your world. Simply because you think some other persons are already doing there and I can't even get there, or my schedules are too tight, I can't get my voice out there. I want to challenge that. It is something telling you that in your head, right? And I will help you execute.
Because the going will get tough. Don't be deceived. The going will get tough. You feel like quitting up because your mentor, let me tell you the difference between a community and your mentor. Mentors, and this, for those who have had mentor, you will know this clearly. Mentors, because of the level of expertise, they don't have the time to handhold you every step of the way. They'll tell you, they will just show you, look at what is going wrong. They are seeing 10 steps ahead of you. You are not even seeing the next step. They are seeing 10 steps ahead of you, telling you that it's easy. And you're like, it's not easy. Have you been in a class where a teacher will give you solve 2 plus 1 and not give assignment, not give you square root of this? Like, it's the same thing. Like, it is not the same thing. But if you have your classmates, that's why the learning system is a very good system. Your classmates are people that are still in that same journey with you. So you can meet your classmates that even know it better than you, but is still not a master like your teacher that can guide you that, okay, this pitfall, if you see this is what it means. Because the teacher will not know the peculiarity of your problem.
You may not want to open up.
Community, yes, you might not want to be open up to your, this that you have this challenge because your mentor might have trivialized it. That it's simple, you should know it by now. A community will help you. Those trivia challenge you are struggling, a community will help you overcome them easily. And the last thing is, which is very critical, is that, which is the most important of them all, is that you need to put your skin to the game. You need to do the work. Practice. Don't, and this is where most people, this part, if it's not there, you are only having a mental romance. You're just romancing your mental decision. So that's people that say, I am a data analyst. You have not analyzed any data. I am a forest trader. You have not traded forest once. I am a brand specialist. You have not built any brand. You have not designed for any brand. I am a consultant. You're not consultant for any business once. I am a this. You've not done one. Until you get your skin to the game, until you do it. All the learning, all the mentorship, all the community does not count.
Okay.
There's a difference between motion and progress. There's a difference between motion and
Explain
progress.
this.
Motion and action. Motion is the things that you put together and you are making yourself feel the need that you are making strive, you are achieving results. Actually, motion does not give you results. So I'm going to give an example is that, you want to go to the gym. You went to buy a gym kit. You went to buy your shoes, buy your kit, buy your gloves. You told yourself, you register for gym. All those things are motion. Until you wear those things
and do something,
go to the gym and do the exercise, it is still, you've not stay fit. Action and motion are not the same thing. So motion are necessary for action to happen. But don't be deceived with emotion. With motion, most people are just caught up in the emotion that I'm doing something, and this happened to businesses. And I can tell you, business you can say, we're having meeting. You have meeting about something, another meeting about that same thing, but no execution. So strategy without execution is what we call motion and action. Most people are strategists. I'm a strategist, so I'm trying to talk down on what I do for a living.
Okay.
But then I can tell you that if you are a strategist and you cannot implement, you cannot drive implementation. Sorry, you are not a good strategist, because a strategist needs to drive implementation, because everything can be on paper, but then what is the result? What is the result?
So can't I strategize and give to my team to
execute? So the idea is, even when God had the plan of creating the universe, he said after he spoke, right? And I'm doing this is what I'm saying this. I'm doing a study on the creation process. And I think I will give this to every business person. If you want to be an entrepreneur, the best business person or creator ever is God, because he created the universe in 6 days. Go and study how he did creation, how he created.
What if I don't believe in God?
What if you don't believe in God? For me, just take it as a history. Just take it as a business book. Just go and see how creation. Don't be tied to he made heaven and earth. Don't be tied to the literal text. Look at it from a business standpoint.
Okay.
And see how it can help you create a business. Okay. And I can tell you that when God wanted to do this creation thing, he was not just a strategist. After saying, let us make man in our own image. If you see chapter 2, he formed man from the dust of the earth. That means he picked the dust of the earth and formed man. He thought about it. He had the strategy that let's make man in our own image. But go to chapter 2 of that Genesis.
He acted on it.
So I don't know if God can do that. I don't know who you are. If you believe in God, if you don't believe in God, so whatever you believe in, or if you don't believe in anything, I don't know how to help you more than this, but if you believe in anything,
Yeah.
and if it's God, if the God planned it, he still had to mold. You have to not be just a strategist that you have ideas in your head and you talk about it. You have to put your skin to the
To
game.
work. Wow. It has been an awesome moment, Mr. Zoo. I'm going to be wrapping it up with this last question, but I want to really say thank you for this open answers and transparency.
Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
I won't forget, if I'm going to leave anything, not the last point you made. I mean, seeing God and the Bible as a business material. I read the book one time, Business by the Book. Have you read that book?
No.
It's a very good book. It's just, I think it's Israeli book, kind of. Everything about the Bible, the business aspect of the Bible, they abstracted everything. The tithing, offering, everything, using it to reference to businesses and how big business
What's
is.
the title of the book?
Business by the Book. I think I have it
Business
here.
by the book.
Yes, Business
Okay.
by the Book. Okay, so the last question is this something I was supposed to ask or you feel you can share with us, which I didn't ask you? You can talk about it.
All right. There are a couple of things, so I am going to try to narrow it to one, and which is something I'm very, very passionate about, which is how do you become financially free?
Okay.
How do you become financially free? And I know I talked about it at the beginning when we were talking about this.
Yeah.
I have this ideology that making money will be very easy in the next 3-7 years.
Bro, saying this thing in this recession, people are scared. Come
Making
on.
money will be very easy.
Okay.
Will be very easy. It will be like the easiest thing if you have the right knowledge.
But that is easier. So people are saying it's easier now than
Yes.
ever.
Yes, it's easier now than ever. It will
Okay.
become easier.
Easier.
It will become easier.
But people are getting poorer by the day.
now. So it is the lack of knowledge, right? It's when people pray because of lack of knowledge, right? So, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you scenarios. I'm going to give you scenarios why that statement is truer than ever, right? There is a lady, I can't recall her name again. What she does is, they say she has one of the most symmetric nails. So she just wears rings and they just take a picture and they pay her millions for doing that. She pretty much does not do anything more than that again, just because you have a good symmetric. So let me tell you something. The thing is, you are the obstacle to your financial freedom. And I will explain. Your success can make you money. Your failure can make you money. Your handsomeness can make you money. Your ugliness can make you money. Your poor background.
Your excuses.
Your poor background can make you money. Your rich background can make you money. Reason is, how do you package it? And this is where somebody like Mr. Nis come in. Brand. It's a brand specialist, right? How do we brand you and put you out there such a way that people pay you? I know the most weirdest video, most weirdest person that makes money that I've ever seen. I don't think, when I saw it, it was so disgusting. But this person was making money off it. And I don't know, I could not even watch it for more than 30 seconds.
Who?
Is a lady, I don't know her name, I don't care to know her name. What she does is, she sell her waste, her body waste. So like her running nose, she will put tissue, bring it out, put it out, it's silly. People buy it. I am not joking.
Because she's beautiful, what?
She's not even beautiful.
Explain this concept, I don't understand.
All right. That I'm saying making money is easier now than ever. Now, it is the fact that she cleaned her ear with her earbud. This she seals it. She said, according to her, she said it started like a phone. That she did that, and she was like, where do I throw this thing? According to her, that she just put it on like that. I have waste to sell, like body waste to sell. And online, you know the world, we have over 8 billion people, and I can bet you that if you consistently show up, there is somebody, even though you are thinking of this chat, even though you're thinking you are not. Even though the person, not you now, the person is not normal. As long as the person show up consistently to talk about something, people will begin to see sense in a senseless thing.
Yeah.
He said she started posting that thing that she wants to this. From this, somebody like, I can buy it from you. Somebody bought, it started with like $2, $5. Now she does not sell it less than a 3-figure. What
on earth do they use it for?
She said she does not care. She does not care. her urine. She probably should pay on urine and seal it in the can. Like, oh, my urine for this money, up for sale. I don't know where to dispose it, and it sound weird.
You need to go and recite this first. Here in Nigeria or outside Nigeria?
Outside Nigeria.
It can't be Nigeria.
It cannot be Nigeria. No, Nigerians, we don't have that money to waste. No, but it's not Nigerian.
Yeah.
But yet, she's selling, she shave, she probably,
Literally everything.
Anything she does, any body waste she's getting, she's not disposing it.
Wow.
And people
this is insane.
are looking to buy it. So can you see her making money? But in time where there's social media, she may not know who wants to buy, who wants to get that. So the advent of social media or the internet has caused a proliferation of access to money that people have that they don't know what to do with it. Because I can't buy it because I have what I want to do with my money. Right? People have money, don't know what they want to do with it.
I'm telling you.
So they're looking for anything that they can just lavish money on. Right?
Okay.
So that is the reason why I say that making money in this era is going to be easier. If you have the right knowledge, if you put your position very well, right, you will get this. That is why Mr. Nis here should be able to.
I think I've seen the girl now online.
You've seen her?
I've seen her. Are you for real?
Oh, you've seen her, yes. So
wait, Mr. So how can somebody position him or herself? So you're in Nigeria, you have issues with internet, you have issues with network, you have issues with light, you have issues with environmental noise. Everything is almost like excuse or
everything is against you. Everything is against you. And so how do you position to be financially free?
Stir up with this online visibility.
Online visibility. So there are two things that I would say that personally I'm a work in progress in that area, right? I will tell you that the economy can be against you and you can use that as a legitimate excuse. But then the thing is, if you look 10 years from now, these things will not matter if you tell it to your children.
I'm telling you, bro.
It will not matter when you tell it to your children.
It won't make sense.
It won't make sense. For now, it makes sense to you because in the next 10 years, your children will tell you there are people like you that still made it out of these slums.
Can I show you something?
Yes.
4 years ago, 2020, I was supposed to start content creation. I said, COVID-19 is happening. Nothing is happening. Nobody's going to watch. People don't have money to buy data. 2024, people are telling me they started their own podcast. They started their own video shooting. 2020. And
they
have millions and thousands of people now following them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So there's never a right time than now. Right? And so how do you beat the odd?
The odds, yeah.
So the one thing I would tell you is that to beat the odd, I will advise that it's always boiled down to social capital. Who are the people? Like somehow it's always revolved around who?
Social capital more
than ever. You might not have the gadget, you might not have the this. Make do with what you have, but then outside that, who can you leverage on their resources? Who can you leverage on their credibility? Who can put their reputation on the line for you? Because I can be on this podcast now because Mr. Nis have a relationship with me.
Yeah.
He did not need to pay me or put a gun to my head. I came based on social capital that he has invested in me. That's why I'm here. The same way I can have something, I can put a call to him that, hey, Mr. Nis, I want to shoot a video. I want to shoot this thing. Can you come and cover it for me? And he can come and, based on the credibility, and can just come and do it probably with low cost or no cost at all and get it done without flinching. Because he has the resources. I don't have it. Right?
We have the social capital.
But I have social capital. That is why I will advise, please, whoever you are, wherever you are, build social capital. So
how do I build and maintain it? Because most times people mistake it for something else. I'm trying to build this social capital with you, but then they see me as a beggar or trying to be parasitic in the relationship.
So building social capital or building a relationship is expensive. It's expensive and very, very, very costly.
Okay.
And I can tell you, depending on the stage you are in the relationship, asking people that you meet for the first time, how are they doing, asking very intimate questions. I think my approach to having a conversation to people, somebody you are trying to build a relationship with or start a relationship with, always move from the known to the unknown.
Okay.
Start with question of ease. And if you want to build a relationship, to questions that are very personal. Don't start with personal questions. Right? But then you're talking about at this statement, these questions have not been abused because it has been rampantly used.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, I get to a point where, like, the first thing I do as a person, if I build a relationship with you and I know I've built that relationship to a point, I will ask you, how are you? And you tell me, fine. I'll tell you, no, how are you really? Because we have a generic response already. How are you? Fine. People give a generic response. But then when you now press forward, if you have built a relationship to a point, the person cannot open up. Oh, I had a very chubby day. My day did not go as planned. I don't meet this. Because those little details.
You've crossed the gates.
You might have a barrier. That is where you keep at it. If you have built a relationship to a point, please, this is a caveat. If you have built a relationship to a point where you are comfortable having that conversation with the person, then the next thing is, because to sustain a relationship, let me tell you, to sustain a relationship, guys don't like it. Ladies do it a lot. That is why I believe ladies have more lasting relationship than guys. They cry a lot, but somehow they make up quickly. With the fact that to sustain a relationship, you need to learn how to have small talks. Small talks.
Aside from the men talk.
No, so small talks are things that are not, because we believe that, like, guys talk for information or for business idea, for something very big. Ladies, have you seen ladies talk? They will be chatting about their children, things that are not, you sat down for 2 hours talking about things that is not making money for you.
I'm freaking out now already. Why do you do that?
And it's not making money for you.
Yes.
And you are like, guys, can you build that? But the thing is that they are building bonds. So to sustain relationships, sometimes it's not about the big thing. Have you seen the reason why the very successful people, they go to play golf? When they play to golf, do you think they're majorly talking about the business and majorly no? They're trying to unwind. They're trying to you can bring business idea. Come to the office and we'll sign the contract. You can get contract that way because you've come to where they are relaxed and you are relaxed with them and you are talking small. Oh, you did not get that hit and all those small talks about things that are not, because the human mind you cannot stretch the human mind and be burdening it all the time. You need to ease off. You need to create times of ease. So to sustain relationship is create more time for small talks. And I think that's the problem with this idea of remote work that is happening nowadays. There's no time for small talks. People does not bond, colleagues do not bond.
But people
anymore.
call small talks most times gossip or waste of time.
No, small talk is not gossip. I think that's a difference where I'm saying that. Thank God, let me bring that balance. Small talk is not gossip. Let me tell you what gossip is. Gossip is talking about a third party as in their absence. Or talking about a third person in their absence and running the person down. So if I'm talking about our common interest, oh, did you watch football on Sunday? Or did you see the movie? That was premium on this? And we're talking about the movie. We're not gossiping anybody.
Okay.
We're having small talks. Oh, did you experience the traffic that happened at that? Because it's your route to your house, or we stay in some estate. Yes, when the traffic that happened, you're like, no, I experienced it. Because people begin to loosen their guards, people begin to drop their high firewalls and have conversation
with you,
real life conversation about their life. Oh, I heard that your child was not feeling fine. Oh, how's his head now? Do you take it to the hospital? Trying to have those small talks, and small talk is not gossip. Small talk is having a conversation that you have common interest about, and you are sharing, and you are trying to find out what is happening.
Wow.
And the more you have small talk, the more the bond get tighter, because people will be vulnerable to tell you things, because vulnerability is not being open. So people are open but not vulnerable. Until people become vulnerable with you, you have not sustained, you have not built that identity to be sustainable.
Do you know how long it can take, or it differs?
It differs.
Okay.
Depend on you and the person you're talking to. For me, the hallmark of a lasting relationship is the level of vulnerability of both parties, and the level of confidentiality of both parties also.
Okay. So you said you have something else aside from this. Do you remember the next thing?
Yeah, aside from, I think
financial stuff.
Aside from financial freedom, I think the other thing that.
Okay, so the next question I want to ask you is, what would you recommend I should do as a young person? What kind of materials should I read to become a big thinker like you, a strategist, and get my head around something? So I may not be able to talk the way you talk now, or at the way, or get all the materials you've read, but are there ones I can start with for the beginning?
Yeah, I think I will put them in 3 buckets. I always have things in buckets so that it helps you. It's a framework for me that my mentor taught me. Always think in buckets, in frameworks. Frameworks helps the mind. So the first framework I would tell you, be focused on your finance. And there are books, there are resources you can read. And before I talk about the frameworks on finance, I'll tell you the first book I will advise to you, be you, whoever you are, is read the Bible. Read the Bible. It might not make sense to you. You might not agree with it, but read it.
Any parts or just everything there?
Read the Bible end to end. And you can read it as an historian. You can read it as a spiritual person, but read the Bible.
Okay.
That's the first book I would recommend to anybody, anytime, anywhere, because it's a gateway to different things. Depending on how you are, for what lens you're looking at it from. It can help relationship, it can help your social capital, it can help your finance, depending on the lens you are wearing at that time when you are reading it. Yeah, that being said, the 3 buckets is finance, leadership, and then I would say focus on your personal brand.
Beautiful. Talk about that.
So for finance, for your finance, I would say read books, read finance book, and they are Think and Grow Rich, the ancient books that has never lost relevance.
Yeah.
I'll tell you to read Richest Man in Babylon. Always a gem that will always transform your mind. And there are other books that probably Mr. Nis can add to that. Because I'm trying this to
Psychology of Money. That's one current book.
Yeah,
I recommend. And a lot. You know, one good thing with reading books, the moment you're reading one,
yes,
the author will mention that one.
Yes.
Before I finish one book, I know like 2 other books to read out of the one I'm reading now.
So that's all on your finance. You need that.
So Chief, thank you so much for doing. I love calling people Chief anyway. Thank you so much for doing this. And I can't wait to bring you back to this podcast. Let's talk about these culture shapers. Once you're done with this phase of the event or the training, I wouldn't mind having to come around or having of them join you here, because we need to see from the point 1 or 0 to 1, like you said here now. So let's see the progress they've made, and then let's see how far you are going on this. Thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
It was nice talking to you.
Same here.
And I felt like I was on the hot seat, but it was a good one.